how plausible is it to bring back Kaepernick? He's still out here and on Instagram and in shape. Why I'm not on Instagram. Too much bad blood. Dad, it's not going to happen.
Okay. I really want to answer this.
Yes.
Just on a very pragmatic level. Iggy, he's been out of the league 4 years.
Yes, he has.
That's 4 years. You know, you have to work at a craft. Being a quarterback in sports is probably the most difficult position in all of sports, to be a quarterback, because of all the stress you're under. I don't think you can just walk in after 4 years and do it. So that's that. Now, you could say it's unfair that he hasn't been in the league for 4 years, and it quite possibly is, but that's not an issue. The issue is, could he do it right now? In addition, the Niners didn't want him. They told him, Iggy, I'm not getting this wrong. They told him, go elsewhere or we'll cut you, right?
Yes, that's right.
So they didn't want him. Whatever he had 4 years ago, they thought, it's not the prototype of the quarterback we want. We want somebody more eventually like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
Not saying Jimmy is a great quarterback, but they've already made their judgment on Kaepernick. So I think it's absolutely unlikely that they would want him back. What do you think?
They don't want him back. They don't want him back for a lot of reasons. I mean, I think part of it is physical. They knew that back at 4 years ago that he was not the athlete he was. He was deteriorating athletically. He'd become a vegan. He'd lost about 20 pounds of muscle. When he was 24, he was impressive. I mean, he looked like Taysom Hill. At the end, he looked skinny. He didn't have the same quick twitch, and they felt that he wasn't improving as a passer. That it's fine it's expected to take steps back athletically in your late 20s and early 30s, but you as a quarterback need to continue to improve. Russell Wilson still improves. It's the kind of position where you can always get better if you're dedicated to learning how to read coverages and that kind of stuff. And he wasn't. From what I heard, he spent a fifth of the time in the playbook that Blaine freaking Gabbert spent. That shows you he basically treated quarterback play as a 9 to 5. I'm here, now I'm gone, and now I'm going to go home and do what I would do at home. So I don't think he'd be particularly good. And if he were to come back in the league is so conservative that once you step out of line, I don't really think there's ever any coming back. Like, he would be used as a running back. They wouldn't let him throw the ball. They would let him run the ball a few times and he'd get crushed and then he'd get hurt and then you'd never see him again. They'd say, hey, Cap, thanks for coming back. Good job. That's kind of what the Patriots are doing with Cam. Just run until you're hurt.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know for a fact he didn't spend time in the playbook, or is that like
that's what the PR staff told me? So I don't know. Maybe that's.
So let's be, because we're journalists. Yes. I want to say Iggy heard it, but we don't know it for a fact. Yep. So Colin, if you're watching this, it's alleged, but we're not stating it as a fact because we're journalists, so we got to be careful with this.
You're right. Yes.
Okay.
I was told. I was told from someone in the organization. Yep.
Okay. So one other thing I want to say. I got one more thing to say about Kaepernick while you're reading. Another reason I don't think the Niners would want him, and this is speculative on my part, the minute you put him in a locker room, he becomes the center of interest for the media. Mm-hmm. And even if he's not the starting quarterback, he becomes the center of interest. What's it like being, here? What do you think about this situation in Minneapolis? What do you think about the election? What do you think about the American system? And all of a sudden, you have a second set of priorities in a football locker room, and maybe they even become, because of the media, more important than the football. And it's very difficult for an organization that's dedicated to football to also embrace or allow this to go on. So I think it's possible a lot of teams, even when Kaepernick was younger, after he left the Niners, would have been leery of him because God knows what was going to happen.
Yeah. Also, it's a very diverse and big locker room. It's not like basketball where there's 12 players. There's 53. And if he comes back in the locker room, maybe half the team will be extremely excited that he's back. I mean, it'll mean everything to a large portion of that locker room. Another portion of that locker room will feel like this is a distraction. This is taken away from football. We're supposed to be all focused on football. I may have disagreements with some of his politics anyway. You don't get 53 people behind Colin Kaepernick. You get 30, 25, 33. You know, you get half.
Iggy, that's a really good point. So look, I want to say this was a great question. And it's one that I loved answering. And I just think no way he comes back to the 49ers. Just no way.
It's not going to happen. Any team.